Hey everyone, so today we're starting Unit 4, which is all about transformations. A transformation is something that moves or changes a figure in some way to produce a new figure. So basically something that changes a figure in geometry. The original figure is called the pre-image, and we're going to consider that our input. And the new figure is called the image or output. So the pre-image is what you start with. The image is what you end up with. Now in geometry, when you do a transformation on an object and the pre-image and the image stay the same, that's called an isometry. So that means that your two shapes would be exactly the same or congruent to each other. So in our first example, if you take a look at the graph to the right, our original figure is line segment AB. And then our line segment AB was transformed or moved and became A prime, B prime. So how you read this little notation, you say A followed by the word prime. So that little mark that's behind the A, I call it a tick mark, but we want to call that prime notation. So AB, just going to highlight line segment AB, that was our original right here. That was our pre-image, and A prime B prime was the output. That's our image. A transformation is also called a mapping, which is a correspondence between two sets of points. So sorry to throw that big word in there, but correspondence just means we're matching up, like each input with an output. So every number you put in gets matched up with a number that's the result. So we're given line segment CD on the graph, and we want to shift this figure to the right 3 units and down 4 units. So that means we're going to take every point, and in this case we just have points C and D, and we're going to go right 3 and down 4. So I'm just going to highlight point C to start. And we want to move this to the right 3. So we go 1, 2, 3 squares to the right. And then we want to go down 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now where I ended up at is where my output will be. So that's my new point C, but we're going to label it C prime because that's part of our image. All right, we're going to do the same thing with point D. And I'm going to highlight it in a different color. We're going to start at point D, and we want to move to the right 3. So 1, 2, 3 squares to the right, and then down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And at that point, we're going to label that D prime. And then just take your ruler and connect those 2 points with a nice straight line. So our original line segment, CD, was our input, and C prime, D prime was the output. So the official names, CD was our pre-image, and C prime, D prime is our image. Remember that the image is the result, the pre-image is what you started with. Okay, in our second example, if you notice, we have A prime, B prime, and C prime. I'm just going to darken this in to make this a little bit easier to see, this little triangle. Okay, the little prime notation got knocked off there on the C. So we have A prime, B prime, C prime. So we have an image, or the output. And it says this A prime, B prime, C prime to the right. And it says find the pre-image if A prime, B prime, C prime was created by shifting the triangle 2 units to the left and 3 units up. Okay, so this is the result of going to the left 2 and up 3. Okay, we have to find the pre-image by doing the opposite. Because we have to get back to where this started from. So do the opposite. We want to go to the right 2 and down 3. Do the opposite to find the pre-image. Alright, and I'm going to do this in red. Okay, so instead of going left 2 and up 3, we want to go right 2 and down 3. So take each of your points, and I'll start with A prime. And so we want to undo what was done to it. So we want to go to the right 2, and then down 1, 2, 3. And this is where A would have started at. B prime, go to the right 2, 1, 2, and then down 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is where B would have been. And for C prime, go to the right 2, 1, 2, and down 3, 1, 2, 3. That means the original triangle, ABC, looks like this. So now check it out. If we now follow what it said originally, if we go 2 units to the left and 3 up, then we should end up on our A prime, B prime, C prime, or the image. So left 2, up 3, left 2, up 3, left 2, up 3, and you see that it works. Okay, so remember, if you're trying to find the pre-image and you're given the image, you have to work backwards. Okay, we have a little typo here. It says given the image, and it should say given the pre-image. Shift the figure 2 units left and 5 units down, and then label the image using prime notation. Okay, so we want to go left 2, and then we want to go down 5. Alright, so lift off the T there. Alright, so take each of your points. We'll start with A, and we want to go to the left 2. I'm going to highlight that. And then down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so our new point for the output here, A prime, will be at negative 3. Alright, now take B. We want to go to the left 2. So left 2, down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. B prime will be right here. And notice that this line segment between A and A prime is the same length as the line segment from A to B. Right, finally move point C using that same transformation. I'm going to go left 2 and then down 5. So point C will be right there. C prime, excuse me. And then check it out. Right, you have another way to do this. Once I located where B prime is, I could have just taken and counted the length of line segment BC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units long, and gone from my B prime to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units to find C prime. Okay, one final example. It says we have to graph the image and its pre-image. And notice here that we have the prime notation. So this particular list of points is the image. Okay, this is the image after a shift 2 units right, 3 units up. So we have to do the opposite. Okay, and I have to go to left, 3 down. But first, take a minute and plot these points from the image. A prime is at negative 3, negative 2. So we go to the left 3 and then down 2. B prime is at 1, negative 2. C prime is at negative 4, negative 3. And finally, D prime is at 0, negative 3. Okay, so take a second and connect those points. We've got a quadrilateral. Okay. All right, next we want to do the opposite. Instead of 2 right and 3 up, we're going to go 2 left and 3 down. So each one of these points gets moved to the left and 3 down. So start with A prime. So go to the left, 1, 2, then 3 down, 1, 2, 3. This is where A would have been to start. Okay, with C, go 2 to the left, 1, 2, 3 down. Alright, and this is point C. Connect those two. Okay, with B prime, go 2 to the left, 1, 2, down 3, 1, 2, 3. That would be point B, connected to A. And finally D prime, go to the left, 2 to the left, 1, 2, and then down 1, 2, 3. And that will be our pre-image at point D. Okay, let's take a look at those coordinates. Point A is at -5, -5. Point B is at -1, -5. Point C is at -6, -6. And point D is at -2, -6. Okay, so if you take a look at one last thing here before you start on the homework. If we take a look at -5 for the x-coordinate, remember that we would go 2 to the right for the x value, and it became -3. So going from -5 to -3, we added 2 units to the right. Going from the y value of -5 and ending up at -2 for a prime, the y value of a prime, we went 3 units up, so you're adding 3 to the y value. And that's going to stay consistent all the way through all of the points. All right, good luck on the homework. As always, make sure you speak up if you have any questions.